To live for over a century is to witness the world reinvent itself dozens of times over. It is a rare, heavy privilege. But for 103-year-old Eleanor Patterson, the passage of time is not measured in years, but in the weight of a single, profound regret. Behind every wrinkle and every silver hair lies a story of resilience, but also a secret that has been kept for nearly a century. It begins with a photograph, a simple piece of paper that holds the ghost of a woman she used to be and a life she almost missed. Her hands, etched with the maps of 1,000 stories, tremble as they hold a faded black and white image from a lifetime ago. Eleanor sits in her living room, where the afternoon sun filters through lace curtains, casting long, dusty shadows across the hardwood floor. She looks out toward the horizon, her eyes distant, as if she can see through the decades to the hills of her youth. In her mind, the modern world fades away, replaced by the gritty reality of Kentucky coal towns during the Great Depression. A single tear escapes, tracing the deep lines of her cheek. It is a tear shed for the girl who had no choice. Her journey into adulthood didn't begin with a celebration, but with a signature on a piece of paper that felt like a sentence. At 16, she was married to a man who cast a long, dark shadow in the doorway of their cramped home. Fear was her constant companion as she balanced 2 infants on her hips, her own childhood discarded before it had truly ended. Then came 1946. A military telegram arrived, bringing news that changed everything. It was a moment of profound, complicated release. Her face reflected a mix of terror for the future and an undeniable, guilty relief. She was finally free to choose her own path. Survival meant working harder than she ever thought possible. She scrubbed floors until her knees were raw, saving every penny for her children. Each coin dropped into a rusted coffee tin was a brick in the foundation of the new life she was building with her bare hands. It was at a quiet church supper where she met Earl. He didn't offer her wealth, but he offered her something she'd never known: kindness. They built a life on a small farm, working side by side under the vast Kentucky sky. It was a time of peace and hard-won joy. But peace is often fragile. Their daughter, Mary Catherine, was the light of their lives, a child who danced through the summer tall grass. Then the laughter stopped. The vibrant girl was replaced by a frail shadow in a dimly lit bedroom as illness took its toll. Present-day Eleanor covers her face, the memory of that loss still as sharp as a blade after 70 years. Some grief never leaves. Earl was her rock, his large, work-worn hands always there to steady her when the world felt like it was crumbling. As the 1960s arrived, their son Jimmy grew into a man. He was proud and strong, a mirror of his father's quiet integrity. But the headlines of 1969 brought a new kind of dread. Vietnam was a world away, yet it reached into their home and took their son. The day Jimmy left, he knelt before his mother, holding her hands. He promised to come back, but life has a way of breaking promises. The second loss was marked by a folded flag and a silence that filled the house, heavier than any physical burden. Now, at 103, Eleanor holds Jimmy's watch. Her thumb traces his face in an old photo, a ritual she has performed for decades. She has lived through a century of change, survived the loss of her husband and her children, and still, she stands. Her regret isn't for the life she lived, but for the fear that kept her silent for so long. She wants the world to know the power of choice. Eleanor's story is a reminder that resilience is not the absence of pain, but the courage to keep breathing through it. 100 years is enough time to lose everything, yet she remains, a living testament to the endurance of the human spirit. As the sun sets on her century-long journey, Eleanor Patterson leaves us with a question: what will we do with the time we are given? Thank you for joining us in honoring a life lived fully, despite the shadows. Until next time, cherish your stories. And remember, no matter how long the road, it is never too late to find your voice and tell your truth. Her legacy. Here's what nobody tells you when you're young. When you're 20 or 30 or even 40, you think you have plenty of time. Time to call your mother. Time to apologize. Time to say I love you. Time to take that trip. Time to fix that relationship. Time to become the person you want to be. But here's the truth that Eleanor learned at 103. You do not have plenty of time. You might have plenty of time, or you might have 3 months, or you might have until tomorrow afternoon. You do not know. That is the whole point. At 16, she thought her life was written, trapped in a marriage that was slowly killing her. At 24, when her abuser died, she thought she had a second chance. At 30, when her daughter died, she thought God was punishing her. At 47, when her son died, she thought she was finished. At 76, when Earl died after 50 years of marriage, she thought the story was over. She's 103 now. And she's still not finished. That voice has kept me alive for 103 years. That voice is inside you too. I know it is. Even if you cannot hear it right now, it is there. And it is telling you the truth. You are not finished yet. Pause this video for a moment. Just pause it right here. And ask yourself a question. Not out loud, just in your mind, where nobody else can hear. What am I putting off until tomorrow? What am I waiting for? Who do I need to call? What words have I not said? I am 103 years old. I have more regrets than I can count. But the regrets that hurt the most are not the things I did. They are the things I did not do. The words I did not say. The calls I did not make. The time I wasted being angry or scared or stubborn when I could have been present. There will come a day when you pick up the phone to call someone and you will remember that they are gone. And you will think about all the times you meant to call and didn't. Don't let that happen. You still have time. Use it. That woman in the video, Jeanette, who made it to 105, she had a good life, a wonderful mother, one husband for 60 years. Eleanor did not have that life. She had an abusive first marriage. She buried her daughter at age 11 from polio. She buried her son at age 18 in Vietnam. She buried the love of her life after 50 years together. And yet, she learned the same lessons that Jeanette learned. Which means those lessons are not just nice ideas from a lucky old woman. Those lessons are the truth. The actual truth about how life works. And if you ignore them, you will regret it. Eleanor has lived through a depression, a world war, a polio epidemic, Vietnam, and more loss than most people can imagine. She has seen the worst of what people can do to each other. She has also seen the best. And I am telling you, the best is worth fighting for. Your life is worth fighting for. Do not give up. Do not settle. Do not accept a version of your life that makes you miserable. Call your mother. Call your father. Call whoever raised you. Whoever loved you when you did not deserve it. Tell them thank you. Tell them you love them. Do it today. Do it right now. Because I promise you, there will come a day when you cannot make that call anymore. It is not too late. Whatever you need to do, whatever you need to change, whatever you need to say to someone, do it. Today.